Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the presentation. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Textbroker for having me here. It's such a pleasure to be in front of all of you guys, and I hope you'll get something valuable from this. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about 7 creative ways of doing international link building in 2020. This is our take in international link building, or at least in the creative part of things. So as I said before, that's our take, and you don't have to follow to the T. You can be more creative than the creativeness that we are providing. And yeah, so I hope you'll like it. First of all, for those of you who might not know me, which I'm pretty sure that it's all of you guys, my name is Duato. I'm that guy in the picture, and I'm 24 years old from Valencia, which is a city in Spain. It's the best city in Spain. So in case someone asks you, it's not Barcelona, Madrid, Alicante, it's Valencia. So you know what to say next time. And my Twitter account, it's at Luis Duato 10. Don't ask me for the 10 in the name. It was many years ago. And as Cody said before, I'm the head SEO director of Dropalia, which is an Alicante-based SEO company. We're specialized in on-page SEO, technical SEO, and we also run different experiments and techniques through the lab, where we apply those techniques to our niche sites, to different websites, and we've come up with some different good link building tactics that we're going to be discussing today, some of them at least. So I hope you all enjoy. First of all, what's link building? It's basically the process of securing a link on another website back to your own site. It's kind of a boat from one website to another. So the more links you have from relevant and authoritative sources, the better your own website will perform. Okay, so the more, the better. However, it's really more the quality over quantity. Okay, we'll talk more about this later, but you get the point, right? And what does Google say about this? Well, it basically says that you cannot do link building, you cannot manipulate, you cannot pay for links, even though they scrape our websites and so on. But you know, they say this, so in theory, you should follow the guidelines. So what can you do here? If you don't want, if you cannot buy links in Google sites, you have to be creative. But the thing is that you can buy links, you can be creative, and you can do it naturally. Okay, so you can be more trustworthy, you can have a better website, you can rank higher for different keywords. But as I said, you have to do it correctly. Okay, so in this presentation, we're going to be focusing more in the be creative part of things. However, I'm going to be discussing just briefly 2 key points when buying links that you should be taking into account. Okay, so if you buy links, in our case, when we are going international, when we're doing international campaigns, we're always using trusted partners. Okay, we're not affiliated with them. They don't pay me anything. It's just the tactics, techniques, or platforms that we're using. So this platform is called Interamplify. They are specialized in international campaigns, especially in the United States, English-spoken countries, also in Spain. And the pretty cool thing about this website or this platform is that you can see the websites before buying. You can see the names of the website, so you can check for traffic, metrics, power, and you can pretty much get any kind of high-quality natural link. They will get it for you. So it's pretty amazing. We're getting a ton of good results internationally. And if you're working now the English SERPs, you will know by now that they are pretty competitive. So you need good high quality backlinks, and they all have traffic. So that's pretty good by the side. And if you do outreach, in case you're doing outreach, I suppose that you're doing it manually right now. So a good smart link management tool that we're using now, it's called Link Affinity, which is basically a way to automate outreach. They are using AI, which gets you niche relevant prospects. They get in touch with websites for you. And it's really a game changer for the link building campaigns that we are trying to scale right now. So if you combine those two, that's a kick-ass website that you're going to have. And I'm pretty sure that you will like outrank any competitor that you might have. So the first technique is to follow the affiliate. Okay, this is one of the 7 techniques that we'll be discussing the next 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So as I said before, the first one is to follow the affiliate. The reason behind is because they are extremely creative, they are good SEOs, and they already know which links work and which ones don't. So that's something to take into account. So if you have a low budget, or you just want to get high quality links and not pay for them, then you have to follow the affiliate. You have to try to be sneaky and try to copy them and to replicate the links that they are using that you know that they work because they have traffic in their websites. And it's a technique that you can really apply to any country. So it's a really good thing, at least to have in mind. For example, if you go into the French search, you can search for comparative plus keyword plus 2020 even. You can do the same in Germany. You can do the same in Italy. And of course, in the States, in the United States, go for best plus keyword plus 2020. And here in Spain, we've looked up for the best vacuum cleaners in 2020. And these 2 websites will be the equivalent, so to speak, to the 10beast.com kind of websites. Okay, they are not focused on technology, but they are focused more like really horizontal niche or topics rather. And if you take those, we're using here a VPN because we don't want to get mixed results. For example, if you're in Italy and you search for those kind of queries, then you could get mixed results. And if you run them through Ahrefs, you'll see that they have a ton of traffic. They've recently been hit by some kind of update, or I don't know. But as you can see, they still have huge amounts of traffic. They are pulling plus 100K a month, according to Ahrefs. But you don't have to really focus on the amount of traffic. And even though they have a small hit, you want to check for the referring domains, okay? So if you go into the referring domains and you start looking for the do follow backlinks, you'll notice that they have this backlink right here, which is a DR88. It's a do follow backlink, and it's coming from the national Spanish television website, which by the way is pretty bad coded. So if you want to get a nice backlink, do follow backlink from an authoritative resource, then you can go here. And if you go into the URL, you'll notice that it's apparently a normal comment, but they've included the HTML keyword anchor text and hide it with CSS, so the managers or the people behind the website don't see it. But as you can see here, Ahrefs gets it, and of course Google gets it, and it's a do follow backlink from a nice high authoritative website that it's targeting the miscellaneous anchor text, and it's targeting the homepage. So you don't have to really worry about getting penalized or anything like that. Okay. If you go into the other website that we took from the SERPs, you will notice here that we have a DR90, which is bt.com kind of result that it's getting indexed, and it's giving this website a do follow backlink from like out of thin air. So how did they get them? Like this one, okay, they get it just because this is a kind of an alternative to Google, but this search engine alternative to Google, as I said before, also gets indexed in Google. So you can manipulate the queries to get your results and then go through Omega Indexer, Fast Link Indexer, or any indexer of your own choice, and then force indexation to get a nice custom do follow backlink from a DR90. Okay, so that's something you can really play with. You can use different footprints. You can get a ton of different search engines alternative to Google. You can do the same in Bing images. You can do the same with different high authoritative news media sites that have their own search engines. So it's really something nice to play with, okay? The second one is to let the spammers do the work. That's more or less like the affiliate ones, but if you know which people it's really the best spammers in the world. They use savvy techniques, they use free links from high quality domains. They only analyze, this is a kind of a recommendation, only analyze the ones that do have traffic, okay? Because you want the referring domains that are actually working for them, not the ones that are getting penalized for, right? And I will recommend you to only use this strategy for a certain strategy that I will explain at the end of the presentation, because it's not something you'll get penalized for, but you have to be really careful how you're using it, okay? For example, here you have the typical URL with a lot of outgoing links, going to any kind of topic, unrelated topic, to any kind of website. And if you get this URL for, well, in Ahrefs, and then you filter by outgoing domains and organic traffic, then you start exploring, and then you get things like that, okay? For example, this is a domain, a .bn domain, which is a DR72, and it's pulling plus 20K of traffic a month. So it looks somehow suspicious, okay? You should analyze this kind of patterns or this kind of domains. Here, if you can see, as you can see, they are ranking in Vietnam. They are having a high authoritative domain rating, sorry. They are pulling plus 7K of organic keywords a month and plus 20K of organic traffic every single month. I've not talked about this before, but the Vietnamese spammers are the best of the world. Russians are also pretty good. You can get a lot of high quality domains from there. In the United States, they are doing it really good in terms of spamming, and Spain also. But in Vietnam, they are getting crazy links from crazy sites that you would never imagine. So keep an eye on this kind of websites, because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of ideas and a lot of referring domain ideas, right? So as you can see, they've recently had a hit, okay? It's something normal because, you know, they use the turn and burn technique. And even though they have been pretty stable and increasing over the last year, so 1.5 years, I would say. So that tells you that the referring domains are working for them. So let's keep an eye on those referring domains that, as you can see, they're getting referring domains or backlinks from YouTube, from Google Maps, from Bitly, Mozilla, Google Drive, and so on. And they are all do follow domains. So why don't you just start digging into this kind of backlinks? Do they look unnatural for you, like to have a YouTube channel and suddenly have a YouTube error that it's giving you a do follow backlink? I don't think so. That looks natural for me. Or Google Maps backlink for your local website. That's incredible, right? Because it's not something really bad. You're not hacking anything. You're not inserting links in any kind of website. You're not doing something illegal, right? So that do follow backlink from DR98, and they are also a Google property. So that's killing two birds with one stone, I would say. The next one, for example, if you keep scrolling down, you will notice here also the bt.com result. They do follow backlink, and also you will see a 1.edu backlink at DR90, which are really good for ranking nowadays. And also New York State Office of General Services from the New York government. So it's a .gov DR91 do follow backlink that you can get just by replacing that URL of the Vietnamese domain by the URL of your own website. And then you run them through your own indexer, and that's it. You get the backlink. You get a really high, powerful backlink. The third one, it's what I call karma links. It's somehow based in the fact that you help the world and the world rewards you with a link. They are really easy to get. They cost you a little bit of money, and again, they are available in every single country, in all countries. For example, this is what I call a karma link. This is this has something to do with donations, and they're really niche specific because, for example, this is an association, a pet association. So if you have a pet website, even it doesn't matter if it's an affiliate website or just pure informative content, then you want to get these kind of links because they are really natural. They look really natural. They are topic related to your website and they cost you nothing. So even though that they might not pull traffic for you, they are good to get, okay? Because they diversify your link profile. Here, you always want to go for footprints. Use footprints and search for different queries that will help you to get more links, more karma links. In this case, we're looking for these bats right here, which is the Guide Star bats. If you go into their website, you will see that it's kind of a non-profit organization. And if you run it through Ahrefs, you'll see that they are pulling a ton of traffic. They're getting like crazy amount of referring domains, and it's at DR90. So you want a backlink from this kind of guys, and it's free also. So, low budget. And as I said before, you go for footprints, donate plus keyword, donation, make a donation, anything you want. And you find something like this, like our partners, they have a specific landing page for Second Life Atlanta, have a Cats Cafe, something really cool to have. And it's not a farm links or a link farm. It's really something that it's, on top of a history, right? A story that they are talking, they are presenting, they are doing a nice action. So that's not something that you will get penalized for, okay? So don't worry. The fourth one is the calculator technique. This is based on the technique of having an asset so that people can link back to you. It's pretty cost effective because people love data. People love to link to other resourceful, useful, pages. And, it works again for all different countries. And it's also a really good magnet for journalists, for media, for news site, because they are always looking for data in their articles. So you want to have one asset like this. It could be an infographic, it could be a calculator, it could be anything that you come up with, and just place it and make it visible. And for example, if you go into the weight loss topic or the weight loss SERPs, I'm pretty sure that this kind of calculators that calculate your weight or your body mass index regarding your gender, your weight, your height, your age, and so on. But the cool thing here is that they are using one kind of little box at the end of the calculator, below the calculator, that help the people to integrate this calculator in their own websites. So it's just copy and paste. You're doing it like really easy for them to, you are making it really easy for them to copy and paste and to put a backlink for you. And they are not even noticing. So why not? And if you think that this is really expensive, like, oh, I don't know how to code, I don't even know how to change the color of the buttons on my website, then don't worry, because Envato or Code Canyon got you covered. You have different calculators. You can even choose your different topics. Here you have cardiology, you have something related with AIDS, pregnancy. So you have here 3 different niches that you can pick up and use the calculator. And as I said before, you can use any kind of link asset for people to link back to your website and to use. So first, before doing it, think about the possible uses that these kind of assets might have for other people. Yeah, I would say that. The fifth one, it's to be the source. Those are basically how to get free links, extremely high quality, contextual, and relatively easy to get. It takes 2 clicks, literally, and it would get you as far as getting Forbes links, IBM links, or anything of those kinds, because it's as easy as signing up for this kind of websites called Aro, which are known for help a reporter out. And what they basically do is to connect a source with a journalist, right? So there is a journalist from, let's say, Forbes, that it's looking to write an article about businesses, or maybe, beauty businesses in Spain, how they are affected and so on. And you have a website talking about beauty. Then you can connect with this journalist, send your reply to the request, and that's it. If they like your reply, you will get the backlink, you will get credit for, and it's basically like getting free backlinks just like in no time, in 2 clicks. And if you're going internationally, then you can do the same for Spain, for Italy, for France, for any kind of country. And this is called Reportaro, but I think they are more European focused. So you can look up on the internet, you can search in Google for Haro platforms, or if you don't have the budget, or you don't even want to sign up for this kind of websites, then you can go to Twitter, search for different operators, journal request plus weight loss. You can tweak it like you were using footprints in Google, and you will come up with these different results, different tweets from people that are looking for this kind of replies from people that have businesses and so on. Maybe, or rather sometimes, these journalists don't know this kind of website, so they go to Twitter and publish it, and then it's your job to pull off all of those requests and reply to the ones that suit the most for you. The sixth one is to use footprints. The footprints, I would say, it's the most underrated form of getting backlinks nowadays. You can get a ton of free backlinks from government sites, from media sites, from anything that you might imagine, but you have to use them correctly. And by correctly, I mean to try to use the footprints by looking at the source code of the indexed results, not using them in Google. Okay, so for example, if you know an SEO that it's really good, and that you know that the websites are really lucrative, then you, and if you know one website of theirs, then you can try to get one kind of footprint in their website, maybe a plugin that it's building for them, or is fully customized, or anything like that, and then try to use that footprint to go and to look for the source code, so that they repeat that source code in all of their websites. And by using these kind of platforms, you'll be able to get all of the lists from these kind of guys, and to pull all the network of sites that they might have. So they are pretty useful. And a few months ago, you could get, by using just these footprints, these kind of footprints, you could get a do follow backlink from limon.fr, which, if you don't know, it happens to be the best and the high, or the most authoritative news media site in France. And you cannot get any better than this. I mean, getting a backlink from Le Monde, it's like getting a do follow backlink from Forbes. So for you to have the comparison. And as I said before, up until a few months ago, you could create a free blog in their subdomain, publish anything that you want, and of course with a do follow backlink back to your website. Now it doesn't work anymore. They are removing it because of the spammers. So congratulations. But yeah, you sometimes can take full advantage of these footprints, and get these kind of backlinks that are really useful. So just be mindful that Google is plenty of, it's full of different opportunities. Every time they are, having more and more problems in their website. So it's your job to, take advantage of those errors in their websites and try to, get a backlink from them. Sometimes people say that subdomains backlink don't work anymore, but trust me that we've run experiments with trying to rank different websites only with do follow backlinks from subdomains, and they work perfectly. Okay, they might not you get as far as guest posts in the subdirectory, but trust me that they work really well. The seventh one, and this is a technique that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, it has to do with ranking newspaper articles. This is a game changer. This is the last thing that we're trying to do right now. And it's just basically buying high quality guest posts in editorial links, maybe Forbes again. And you only have to make sure that they rank in your niche. Meaning, for example, if you're talking about business, you could go with Forbes, and then you can buy you can buy an article there and try to optimize, try to do SEO to that article, because that will help you, or that will help the article to rank higher in the first places, in the first spots of the Google SERPs for that specific query, and then just rinse and repeat. Then buy another different backlink from another editorial article or site, and just do the same and take over the first page of Google, and you'll have a nice asset of different high quality newspaper articles that are linking back to you, that are pulling traffic, and that also get you commissions, because sometimes they allow you to include your affiliate stuff and so on, if they don't really notice it. Okay, so this is really a good technique. And you can also add some PBN links to tier 2, and you can pretty much do anything, because these kind of sites really absorb all of the toxicity from bad domains or bad links, or any kind of those things. Okay, any kind of those backlinks. So you can use more savvy techniques or more negative SEO techniques to rank those newspaper articles, and then to increase the power and the trust of your link in that article, in that editorial article. So just to finish it up, some random tips for you. You can use all of these techniques internationally, and you can use international links to rank internationally. I mean, if you're trying to rank in Italy, for example, you can use Spanish links to rank in Italy. If you're trying to rank in Norway, you can use English backlinks to rank in Norway, because it doesn't really look unnatural for Google to maybe a Spanish media site or Spanish editorial site to link to an English site, because maybe they've released a new product that it's getting mainstream, or I don't know. Okay, you can justify however you want, but it's not something that uncommon to see. Also, get links from sites that already rank in the first 2 pages of Google for your keyword. Okay, so if, for example, if you are doing link insertions, try first to go through the first page of Google for your targeted keyword, and ask them if they will be willing to place a link back to your article. Okay, I know it's really difficult, but sometimes they all care for it's just money. So you offer money, then you get the link, and you take over the first page of Google, and they get like just $100 or something, but you got from nowhere back to second place, or you get the point, right? Internal links are just as effective as external links. They are really high quality. There are really high quality external links that will get you really far in the SERPs. But sometimes we are only focused on trying to acquire more and more and more links, while internal linking might be a bit delay in terms of passing through the link juice internally, maybe like 1.5 months, 2 months, but over the long run, they are really what could make or break your website, okay, and move the needle sometimes. In 2020, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So Barry and Cody and Philip were talking before about, this discussion about it's about quantity or about quality. I think it's about both, having a lot of high quality domains, okay? So you want to have high quality domains, but you want to have a lot of them. So try to be, creative, as we've seen through this presentation. Try to get high quality links. Try to mix it with guest posts. Try to be natural at the end of the day. That's the name of the game. And the Google algorithm is different depending on the countries you try to rank in, okay? So for example, if you're trying to rank in Spain or, I don't know, in Mexico, the Google algorithm might be more advanced than if you're trying to rank in Italy or in France, just because there is less people in France, okay, than in all the Spanish-based countries. The same happens in the States, just because the English is the first language in the world. They have to be like always at the verge of trying to do always like the best possible things to offer people the best possible services. But if you go to Norway, if you go to Japan, if you go to Italy, France, I don't know, Denmark, Switzerland, those kind of countries, Google is not as smart as you will think, as says the last bullet. And always have in mind the link velocity. You cannot place or build or buy 100 backlinks to one website and to place them in 1 month if you have like 10 visits every day. It doesn't look natural. It's not something you would do in normal situations, and that's something only an SEO would do. So try not to look as an SEO and try to look more as a natural business, that it's building their way up to the SERPs, and just try to follow the natural course of the internet with link building and all the tactics we've presented today. Okay. And yeah, so the last one I talked about before, but Google is not as smart as you think. You have to bear in mind that really it's an algorithm. Okay, so Google is not a person behind that. It's trying to make you bad on your website. No, it's good to have, you know, to read, for example, the webmaster guidelines and so on, but just as a pure informative thing. Okay, Google doesn't work like that, or sometimes they don't work like that. So just try to be natural, and you know, you won't get penalized, but trying to be natural. Okay, so just take that in mind, and I hope you all enjoy the presentation. Thank you everyone for following me these minutes. And if you want again to follow me on Twitter, it's at Duato 10, and that's the website for the agency. So if you want to contact us, or you want to send me a personal message or ask me anything, then feel free to do it. Okay, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Luis. A lot of valuable information. I know you had a bunch of good tips there. And so right now, we will open it up to audience Q&A. So be sure to go ahead and put your questions in there. I'm going to start with one that got asked at the beginning of your presentation.
Yeah, sure.
It has to do with local SEO. I know you didn't cover that in your presentation, but hopefully between you and Philip, we can answer this person's question.
Yeah.
But it says, if I'm trying to increase local customer traffic to, let's say, a painting business, does it make sense to spend a lot of time on content creation for SEO and backlinking? Does that help a business page rank higher when customers search for painters near them, or is something else that gets you higher on Google business pages in local search?
Yeah. So basically,
so
you
want to unpack there.
Yeah. So just in parts. Okay. When doing local SEO, proximity is a huge factor for ranking high in the. Okay. So for example, if a customer is searching for, I don't know, any kind of query, based on their proximity, different results will appear higher. Okay. So if they don't have a physical address, like how would it say? If you don't have a physical address next to the center of the city, imagine that you are, you know, outside, you're not downtown. If you're not downtown, they will get you above you, just because they have a higher proximity to the downtown rather than you being outside of the city. Okay, so you want to include your city name in your Google My Business name. Okay, so for example, if you're trying to rank in Seattle, then you want to put like, I don't know, pet adoption Seattle, for example. Okay, and then try to write different directions on how to get to your storefront business if you're having one. Try to be really specific on how to get there. Try to get how do I say stars, ratings. Yeah, thank you. So try to get ratings. Okay, try to to be really specific. Publish content. Okay, write different Q&As. Like you can write them yourself with one account, Google account, and then log in with a different account from another different device, and then answer them. Okay, that will help you to build topic relevancy, or to build topical authority about your needs. And then you can also include your photos. You can tag them. You can geolocate them through different EXIF tags, and then try to rank organically also. Okay, because it will get you as far or more than by just appearing in the map pack. Okay, so I think by all of those, you want also to get local links. So if you have, for example, directories that are locally placed in your city, it's much better than having them in your country. Or if you have a newspaper that it's locally based, then try to get a link from them. It's all about building that kind of topical relevancy around the city you are in. And also, if your business is across the country, then you won't be ranking as good as, for example, if you're ranking in Seattle, you won't rank as good as in Texas. Okay, you want to have a different address with a different verified Google My Business account. Okay, so you want to be specific on that city with one Google My Business. Okay, so try to laser focus to one city, and yeah, basically.
No, I think those are all great kind of step by step things that you need to do. I think the going back to the question, they were kind of, I guess they were trying to compare content versus links, right? So if it's a local, if you're trying to be at the top of the local searches, is your first step focusing on local content or local links, or is the answer you really have to do both?
Yeah, well, first of all, just try to focus on your content. Okay, that's the first thing. Try to add a Google Maps embed in your website. Try to add your name, address, and phone number. Try to be exact, like the one that it's appearing in the Google My Business card. Try to geolocate your images. Try to write the name of the city at the end of the meta title. Try to explain things about the city, so Google gives you relevance about that city. And then after you've done all of those kind of things, you can also add maybe Q&As, different pages for your different services, but always try to talk about the city you are in. Okay, then you can jump onto the link building part. Okay, just try to do that off-page kind of thing for Google Maps, for the map pack. You can get local links, all of those.
And I'm just going to jump to the last question we just got, because I think it's along the same lines. Jim was asking, how important is it, if you're a local business, how important is it to get links, that are from close to you? If you're thinking about in the country, obviously I would think it would be the same country, but if you're thinking about kind of a city, is it important that the links are coming from someplace also in that same geo, or is it not that big a deal if getting from thousands of miles away?
Yeah, it would be better to get the links from that specific location, because it will help Google to understand more where you are at. Okay, if that's not possible, then try to get the links from the country, and if that wouldn't be possible, which I doubt it, then just go international. Like, I always try to be really, really local.
Got it. Okay, Cody.
Yeah. So I think it wasn't, I guess it was a question, but it was discussed quite a bit in the chat, so you can use that to reference if you want. But there was some confusion on footprints and kind of what do you mean by footprints. So I think maybe we'll
Yeah.
dive into
Footprints, it's just when you're searching in Google and you type maybe a site colon dot, I don't know. You for example, search for quote unquote a query, or you search quote unquote the query plus site colon .com to pull specific results for the for that query. Okay, so for example, you type question, quote, opening quote, and then you type, I don't know, best 2020, and then you finish that quote, and then you add site.com, then that's a footprint. You're trying to search for parts of a specific website or a specific query that bring you results that will help you to filter or kind of filter the Google search results, so you don't have to go one by one.
Cool. And I think, I don't know if you saw it in the chat, but Jim, again, with Internet Marketing Ninja, said maybe we can get Luis to do a blog post on this. And I know I would personally enjoy that. I would benefit reading a little bit more on that.
About that, yeah.
You're getting requests. All right, let me go to the next question. Let me go to the next question from Scott. Scott said, if you have a blog on your website, and of course you're linking to one of your product pages, is it also a good idea to link from that blog to another website, a third-party website that might be an authority with the content you are writing about? You know, you're not going to link to one of your competitors, but if you're selling cameras and you write a blog post about cameras, you want to link to your own product page with the camera. Yeah. But should you link to some third-party expert who talks about not a competitor, but who talks about cameras? Is that going to help you from a link, the linking out as opposed to the linking in?
Yeah. In my opinion, the linking out always work if that has something to do with health sites or some kind of references for, you know, health studies or any kind of study. Okay. It will help Google to understand that you also know how to link out. For example, if you're talking on how to lose weight, or you're writing on how to lose weight, then you want to link out to a study of medline.gov, for example, talking about a specific study that they did on obese individuals, on how they lost the weight. Okay, but I won't bother that much to link out to third-party experts if that's not going to help me. I mean, you can do it, but it's not something that will help you to rank higher. Okay, I've only seen it in you know, your money, your life kind of niche sites working. Okay. And it works, by the way, it works.
All right, cool. So I think Frank just asked a question, and he said, can you talk about social media links and the best way to use them?
Yeah, social media links, we always use them just to syndicate content from our own blog post. For example, if we publish a new blog post, then we syndicate it to the different social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and so on. But we also try sometimes to use the PBN technique, like with PBNs that might be somehow toxic or don't really work that well in the tier 1 links. Then we link from those PBNs to the social media profiles to boost them up so that they get more, well, in Google size, they get more brand awareness. So we're always trying to build a brand around one website. And by, you know, linking to those social profiles, you get that brand awareness. Plus, you also get a nice little boost to your rankings. It's pretty small, but it's enough for us to do it.
Good to know. Just a few, I guess, notes before I let Philip move on to the next question. Cassandra just reminded me that if you're watching this and you're active on Twitter, use the hashtag Digital Marketing League and she will be looking at the people who mentioned Digital Marketing League. And if she sees that you're active and stuff like that, she might even send you a little something from Textbroker. So go ahead and use the hashtag Digital Marketing League. And then the second thing is I will put my email address in the chat. I know sometimes the quality of the video isn't great, and so the slides could be a bit grainy or whatever. I have the copies of all of the slides, so I can put my email address in there. If you want the deck, go ahead and just email me with requesting, hey, I want Luis's slide deck, or I want Tyson is coming up next, so I want Tyson. So just a few notes. Sorry to interrupt the Q&A, but I was just getting some questions on that. So I'll let Philip take the next question, and we can move forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip down. I think David has a question, but I think because Luis, you mentioned PBNs, we've got a couple questions about that. So yeah, I think most people kind of thought PBNs are kind of dead. So one question from Eduardo is, do you think PBNs are still working, or that there's too much risk there? And then Shane kind of followed that up and said, yeah, I thought PBNs were long dead. So if you can talk about it.
Yeah, so if they are thinking in building a PBN right now, I won't recommend it. Like, it's too much work and really expensive to really maintain like a proper PBN. But if you have access to different backlinks, PBN backlinks, you can use them even if they are toxic, like if they don't work, if they don't have traffic, but they have power in their homepage. So the way to do this is just by tier 2 linking with those PBNs, like for example the newspaper article technique that I showed that I show in the presentation. You can use those PBNs to power up those tier 1 backlinks. Okay, but I would not use them for tier 1, like directly to your website. Okay, especially if they are toxic or they don't really work. But
Okay, thanks.
All right. Philip, did we answer David's question yet?
No, I skipped his question, so go ahead with that.
I just wanted to double check. So, Luis, in your opinion, how is the growing granularity of Google going to affect SEO in the coming years?
Oh, that's a good question, David. I think it has a lot rather to do with user experience and how you answer the query to the user. It doesn't make sense nowadays to write a lot of content like huge articles for example, how to do push-ups. Okay, you won't be doing a 2,000-word article for how to do push-ups. You would be doing rather maybe a 300-word article plus a video on the demonstration on how to do push-ups. So that kind of changing mindset is what will, in my opinion, keep SEOs alive. That kind of adaptation to the different queries and search intent for Google. I think that Google will not reduce the impact of backlinks. Like, they will still be the #1 source for people to rank higher, but that will have to be aligned with the search intent and that user experience that the users are having when looking for a query or a specific query. And I think that nowadays people really look really afraid of getting into a SERP or a specific niche, just because there are a lot of people, like big monsters, big sites competing. But I've seen cases, and we've also had cases for our own sites, that just by having a small new website and by targeting or laser targeting the queries and really trying to answer to that query with a good user intent, we outrank them, and we are now at first position with commercial keywords like shopping keywords and so on for informational sites. So it's like a bit crazy. So yeah, search intent, website speed, and backlinks, to keep it natural and high quality.
All right, Luis, I think we're almost at the moment of truth where we let the audience vote, but I think we've got time for one more quick question. One thing I was curious about is typo backlinks. Can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, I think they are part of also of a link building campaign. A really small part, like maybe links coming from images, like blank anchor text. You can use them. I don't see how you wouldn't be including them, but not on a daily basis. You can use them like just maybe one webmaster, got the typo or something. It's not that uncommon to see, but
And what you're talking about, I think, is creating a domain that has a typo in it, putting content on that
no, no,
page, and
no,
then linking back
no,
to
no,
your.
no, no, no. I will, I will start fresh, like no typo on the domain name, but I was referring to to one link maybe,
Okay.
targeting with one anchor text that it's a typo to my website. That could happen. I mean, it's not that uncommon. It doesn't really get you penalized
Got it.
because
Okay.
of having just one like typo.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.